read this story about a young girl and how she overcame her fears. So, this is about a young girl who learns to duck dive and how she overcame her fear of duck diving or diving straight into the water. So the story starts the ponds are very big, so that at one end people bathe and at the other end they fish. Old chaps with bald heads sit on folding stools and fish with rods and lines. And little kids squeeze through the railings and wade out into the water to fish with nets. But the water's much deeper at our end of the ponds, and that's where we bathe. You're not allowed to bathe there unless you can swim, but I have always been able to swim. So, this the narrator writes, and she explains the plot of the story, where the pond was, what the pond looked like, how big the pond was. So, this particular pond, the ponds are very big, so this particular pond is very big. Now, what is a pond? Pond is the water collected in an area. It is not a flowing water, and there is a boundary. Okay, it has a boundary. It does not flow. The water from the pond does not flow. It is collected there. So this pond is very big, and at one end of the pond the people bathe, and on the other end of the pond they fish. So there are old people also, there are children also, and they all are fishing there. The old people are sitting on the stools, and with the fishing rod or the fishing lines, they are doing the fishing. And these, as you can see in the picture also, how these children are squeezing in the railing and they are putting the net in the water and trying to fish the fish. But the water is much deeper at our end of the ponds. And where the writer is, where the narrator is, that side the water is very deep, and that is where they bathe. But only those people are allowed to bathe, those who know how to swim. And this narrator has always been able to swim well. But now in the next paragraph, only I don't dive. Not from any diving board, thank you. I have to take my glasses off to go into the water, and I can't see without them. And I'm just not going to dive even from the lowest diving board. And that's that. And they stopped nagging about it long ago. So this narrator, this writer always had fear of diving from the diving board. And now over the years, she was not able to dive. So people had stopped nagging. Nagging means pointing or bothering about it, or stressing her to do the diving. And she was always scared because she used to wear glasses. And to dive, she had to remove the glasses. And she had this fear that without glasses, I will not be able to see. So she was always adamant not to dive from the lowest diving board also. Then this summer, they were all on to me to learn duck diving. You're swimming on the surface of the water, and suddenly you upend yourself just like a duck and dive down deep into the water. And perhaps you swim about a bit underwater and then come up again. I dare say ducks begin doing it soon after they are born. It's different for them. So now this is duck diving. This summer everybody was forcing her. They were all behind her to learn duck diving. Now what is duck diving? It is diving nose first, where a duck puts its head down and bottom up in the air when diving under water. So putting your head first into the water and straight away going deep down the water and then coming up again. That is duck diving. So you are on the surface of the water and suddenly you just put your head and you straight away go inside. Suddenly you upend yourself just like a duck and dive deep into how the duck does it. No, she just upends. She comes up and then puts her head first in. And perhaps you swim about a bit underwater and then come up again. So I dare say ducks begin doing it soon after they are born. It's different for them. So even children who learn swimming at a very tender age, they're able to learn it quickly because the bodies are more flexible. So I was learning to duck dive, to swim down to the bottom of the ponds and pick up a brick they had thrown in and bring it up again. You practice that in case you have to rescue anyone from drowning. Say they'd sunk for the third time and gone to the bottom. Of course, they'd be bigger and heavier than a brick, but I suppose you have to begin with bricks and work up gradually to people. So, duck diving basically, she was taught to bring people if someone has drowned. So, how to get that person out? So they were given practice by throwing bricks in the water. So bricks are very heavy, so they would throw the bricks and the brick would settle at the bottom of the water, and then they are taught to go deep down, pick up the brick and come up. That is how they were taught initially how to get the bricks. Then they were trained that if any person gets drowned, how to get that person up. The swimming instructor said, "Sausage, I'm going to throw the brick in." Sausage was a nickname that my friends had given me. It was a brick with a bit of old white flannel round it to make it show up underwater. "Sausage, I'm going to throw it in and you go after it." Go after it, Sausage, and get it before it reaches the bottom and settles in the mud, or you will never get it. So now the instructor, who would call her Sausage, all her friends also would call her Sausage, and the instructor said that now I will throw the brick in, and this brick had a old white flannel, a cloth around it to make it show up underwater now, so that you can see what this white color and you can just identify that this is the brick and can get it up. So the swimming instructor says that I will throw it, and the narrator has to go after it and get it before it reaches the bottom and settles in the mud, or you will never get it. So the instructor instructed her that along with first I throw the brick and then you should go quickly after that only, so that before it settles on the ground in the mud down, you should pick it up, otherwise you will not be able to find it.